Serafina, a woman feeling like an outsider in her own family, discovers a bundle of letters that reveal a forbidden love story from the past. As she learns about the secrets and the true identity of her father, she finds herself caught between the legacy of her ancestors and her own journey of healing and purpose. But will the hidden letters be enough to free her from the shadows of the past? Before we continue, have you subscribed yet? Hit that button for more amazing stories, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Serafina had always felt like an outsider in her own family. The grand estate where she grew up was filled with cold hallways and even colder hearts. Her father, Thaddeus, a stern businessman, ruled the household with an iron fist, while her mother, Eulalia, faded into the background, a wisp of a woman lost to her own sorrows. The air in their home was always heavy, thick with unspoken words and secrets that had festered for generations. Serafina spent her days wandering the vast, echoing halls, her only refuge the small library tucked away in a forgotten corner of the house. There, surrounded by musty old books and the scent of aged leather, she felt a sense of calm she found nowhere else. But even that sanctuary seemed to hum with the ghosts of the past, their whispers echoing in the silence. One rainy afternoon, as she climbed up to the attic searching for old trunks and forgotten treasures, she stumbled upon a bundle of yellowed letters tied with a faded ribbon. They smelled of time and secrets, and as she carefully untied them, she felt a flicker of warmth for the first time in years. The letters were written by a man named Caspian, filled with tenderness and longing. They spoke of secret meetings under the moonlight, of stolen kisses in the garden, of a love that defied the rigid walls of their home. Serafina's heart raced as she read them, each word pulling her deeper into a world she had never known. She read late into the night, the flickering candlelight casting soft shadows on the attic walls. The letters painted a picture of a man who loved with all his heart, who risked everything for the chance to be with the woman he adored. Serafina could almost hear his voice in the soft rustle of the pages, a voice that seemed to echo from a time long past. She confronted her mother the next morning, unable to hold back the questions that burned in her heart. "Mother, who is Caspian? Why were these letters hidden away?" Eulalia's eyes filled with tears. "Caspian was your uncle," she whispered. "My brother. He fell in love with a woman from a family we were forbidden to associate with. Thaddeus, the man you call your grandfather, tore them apart. He believed love was weakness." Serafina's heart ached. But why hide these letters? "Because love was a dangerous thing in this house," Eulalia said, "and because I couldn't bear to see my brother's memory erased." Determined to learn more, Serafina reached out to Caspian's lover's family, the Meliora family. Their estate was smaller, humbler, but it radiated warmth that her home had always lacked. There, she met Mirabelle, an elderly woman with kind eyes and a voice like a lullaby. Mirabelle shared memories of Caspian, how he had loved with his whole heart, how he had written poetry and promises, how he had vowed to build a future with her despite the odds. "He never gave up," Mirabelle said softly. "Even when your grandfather threatened him, he kept writing, those letters. They're all that's left of him." Serafina listened, captivated by the stories of her father's unwavering devotion. She saw the life that had been stolen from him, the laughter, the stolen moments of joy, and with every word, she felt her own heart heal a little more. As Serafina pieced together the fragments of the past, she felt the power of love to defy even the cruelest of families. But there was one final secret hidden in the letters, a confession from Caspian to Mirabelle, written in a shaky hand. "My dearest love, if this letter reaches you, know that I have a daughter, my sister's child. I have left my legacy in her care, and I trust she will find her way to you someday." Serafina's hands trembled. Could it be? She rushed back to her mother, the weight of the truth pressing down on her. "Mother," she demanded, tears in her eyes, "tell me the truth. Was Caspian my father?" Eulalia wept openly, her frail shoulders shaking. "Yes, Serafina, Caspian was your real father. Thaddeus forced me to lie to protect the family name. He said no child of that scandal would be welcome here." The revelation crashed over Serafina like a tidal wave. Her entire life had been built on a lie. a lie meant to protect the family's image, but one that had stolen her true identity. She felt the walls of the grand estate pressing in on her, the portraits of stern ancestors on the walls seeming to sneer. In the quiet of the attic, surrounded by the echoes of a forbidden love, Serafina finally felt free. She knew now who she was, not the obedient daughter of a heartless man, but the child of a love that had never truly died. She spent days in the attic, reading and rereading the letters. She traced the words with her fingertips, feeling the passion and heartbreak in every stroke of the pen. She could almost hear Caspian's voice, soft and sure, whispering promises of hope. Determined to honor his memory, she began writing her own letters. She wrote to Caspian, to Mirabelle, to the ghosts of the past. She poured her heart onto the pages, weaving a tapestry of love and loss and longing. One evening, as she sat in the attic, her candle flickering in the darkness, she heard footsteps. Eulalia appeared in the doorway, her face drawn with sorrow. "Serafina," she said softly, "I have something for you." She handed her a small box, its lid carved with delicate flowers. Inside were photographs, Caspian as a young man, his eyes bright with life. There was a lock of hair tied with a ribbon, and a silver locket containing a miniature portrait of Mirabelle. "These are yours," Eulalia said. "They were meant for you." Serafina clutched the box to her chest, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you, Mother," she whispered. Together, they sat in the attic, the past and present woven together in a fragile truce. Serafina knew it would take time to heal the wounds of the past, but she was no longer afraid. She would carry her father's love forward, a light in the darkness. But the story did not end there. The next morning, Serafina woke to a soft, persistent rain that drummed against her window. She rose, feeling a sense of purpose she hadn't known before. She dressed and walked down to the village, where the cobblestone streets glistened with rainwater. She visited the small cafe on the corner, the scent of fresh bread and coffee a comforting balm. She met with Lucien, the town historian, who had always been a quiet observer of the village's many secrets. She shared her discovery, the letters, and the story she had pieced together. Lucien listened, his eyes wide with wonder. "You have unearthed a love story that was meant to be forgotten," he said softly. "You have also reclaimed your own stories, Serafina." She smiled. "I want to write it all down, to honor them, and to make sure their love lives on." He nodded. "Then you must. I will help you in any way I can." For weeks, Serafina worked tirelessly, crafting a manuscript that wove together the past and the present, Caspian and Mirabelle, and her own journey to uncover the truth. She poured every ounce of her soul into the words, each page a testament to love's endurance. And when she finally held the first printed copy in her hands, she felt the weight of generations lifted from her shoulders. She had broken the silence that had haunted her family for decades, and in doing so, she had found her own voice. As she walked back to the estate that had once been a prison of secrets, Serafina felt the world shift around her. The rain had stopped, and the air smelled of earth and possibility. She knew there would be more to uncover, more truths to face, but she was no longer afraid. In the quiet of the evening, she sat once more in the attic, the letters spread out before her like a map of the heart. She traced the lines of Caspian's words, feeling his love reach out across time. She knew he would be proud. And in that moment, Serafina understood that the past was never truly gone. It lived on in the stories we tell, in the love we choose to remember, and in the courage to face the truth. She looked out the attic window, watching the last rays of sunlight dance across the fields. The world felt wide and full of possibility, and for the first time in her life, Serafina felt ready to embrace it all.